Donnie and Dolly. The team is supported by ableauctions.ca. Closing your business? We can help. And King of Floors, your vinyl, laminate, and engineered flooring superstore.
Okay, so since the show started back on April 5th, I've been promising this. I'm not going to say it's a plan to save the CFL. We've seen this before. It goes like this, has throughout history, ups and downs. It's going to exist in some form, no matter what. I think anyway.
And the haters can be haters, but the CFL is not going anywhere.
It's been around for over 100 years, but it needs some improving. So this is my improve the CFL plan. Derek, if you can, let's get up our first board here. Okay, very funny.
Love it.
Okay, this is my plan to improve the CFL. Number one, remember when they had Friday Night Football? They still do have Friday Night Football, but over the past few years, they've gotten away from that a bit. There used to be 3 games on a Friday, at least 2. Have a focus. It's one of my favorite words in our business. Have a focus. People want to know when games take place. Make sure Friday is your big night. Get back to that. That worked in the 2000s.
Hold on. Are you saying every game Friday night?
Not every game, but the majority of games on a Friday. It's Friday. There are CFL games going on. Make sure you make that your focus.
Okay,
and I say that because when you get into October, people start thinking hockey night in Canada, and that hurts. Sunday, NFL, I say make Friday your big night. Yeah. Now, here's the other thing. Get out of Toronto. And maybe you move the Argonauts to suburban Toronto. Remember there was talk about them moving to North York at one point?
Mississauga, too.
The majority of the season ticket holders in Toronto, not many of them, but they're from suburban Toronto. I don't know, you have to have a facility or just get the heck out of there altogether. Nothing hurts the CFL more, in my opinion, than those shots back in the day of Rogers Centre or Skydome, now BMO, of an empty stadium situated in a city with 7 to 8 million people in it.
Yep.
And you can't get 10,000 people out, that kills the CFL. That's awful. I know there's corporate support there. If you have a good product, they'll follow. If they care about Canada, if they care about the CFL, the corporations will follow or should follow. Those visuals, Rick, of those empty stadiums, whether it's BMO or Rogers Centre, they really, really hurt.
Absolutely.
Toronto, John Shannon made this point. Toronto looks south. It doesn't look east and west. That city looks south. It looks to the States. It doesn't look to the rest of Canada. Cut back the schedule, cut back on expenses, 16-game schedule, cut back on travel for now anyway. Majority of games in conference, so 12 in conference, 4 versus the other conference. West Conference goes to the East 4 times or vice versa, just to help out with expenses, at least for now. Let's go to the next page here, Derek. You got the next page? There we go. Remember this back in the day? You might not remember this. But back in the day,
I do.
If you were an American and you played a certain amount of time in the league or with one team, you got Canadian status.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah, I remember that.
Reward the American players that are sticking around for a long time. Usually the more talented players, I hate to say that, reward them for sticking around in the league for a long time. Reward them for being with one team for a long time. Give them national status. Give them Canadian status.
Yes.
People know those guys, so let them be classified as Canadians. Expand to the Maritimes. We talked about that a lot. It's a good idea. Make it a cross-country. I know it doesn't help with travel, but make it a cross-country, completely a cross-country league. Now, this is one thing I want to talk about at the bottom here. Heavy marketing presence at minor football games, high school, flag, touch football events. My 2 boys played flag football for a while.
Mine did too.
Okay?
Mine did too. And
you never saw the lines there. There were, thousands. They had these tournaments every weekend. Hundreds of thousands of kids playing football with parents who cared about football, and you rarely, if ever, saw the Lions out there. Same thing with high school. Get out there. Give people T-shirts, tickets, whatever the case may be. Get kids, get parents of kids who care about football, who play football involved. Next page, Derek, if you don't mind.
How many pages you got?
17.
Like, are we going to be here till Christmas? But you're going to come into my vacation for crying out loud.
Okay. Halftime show. Forget the marching bands. Forget the salute to left-handed people in Alberta. Whatever the case may be. Halftime show. What's the best halftime show? What's the best show?
The band.
No, the best.
The band. The NCAA's got the band.
Wrong.
Donnie. NCAA's got the bands. It looks good.
How many bands are there? Come on.
No, I'm talking about marching bands. The
day of the Beefeater is gone. The Lions used to have a band called the Beefeaters.
Really?
The best shows are, even at hockey events, when you get the kids playing, okay, always have kids' football games as your halftime show, the half-field situation, because, first of all, it's entertaining. You love seeing some, 8-year-old kid dominate or whatever the case may be. Also, those kids get into the game. They create an energy. Maybe you create new fans. Always.
Good point.
The other thing, eliminate the single point for missed field goals. I don't have a problem with the single point for punts. You're a rewarding field position. I don't have a problem like that. Eliminating the single point for missed field goals. You don't want somebody winning a Grey Cup on a single point for a missed field goal. Do not reward failure. That looks bad. Reduce ticket prices for anyone under 19. This is a big complaint for a lot of people. You don't want to have yourself pay $60, $70 for a ticket and your kid pay the same price. Sorry, it's not the NHL. It's not the NBA. You have to accept that. And this one really bothers me. You see this a lot. You see this in the NFL too. Right at the bottom. No, you see a penalty thrown, and Ryan, you know what this is like. You see a penalty flag thrown for a infraction, which is technically an infraction, but has nothing to do with the play. You see it all the time. So within reason, if somebody takes somebody's head off, okay, you throw the flag. But if it's away from the play and has nothing to do with the play, tell the officials, keep the flag in your pocket. Don't waste people's time with that. Is that the last page, by the way, Derek?
Oh, I did social studies projects not that big. Like, are you kidding me?
Hey.
How many pages?
You know what? Look back at that. All right, look back at that.
Here's my.
You'll come back 5 weeks from now because it'll take you that long to read it, and you'll realize how right I am.
Mine is simple, and I was talking to the great Julio Caravetta last night about this, and I told Julio.
What does he know about football?
Listen, he's the best there ever was.
Was?
Well, the best there ever is. Listen, have a quarterback that throws over 300 yards. Have a team that has over 30 points. Just get the entertainment value up, Donnie. Simple as that.
Well, they just talked about that.
If you entertain, they will come. If you don't entertain, they're not going to come.
Yeah, but how? Okay, all right.
Hey, can I get this in, Roy?
Yeah.
Love Donnie wearing the Jerry Taggy era helmet. Remember Jerry Taggy, Cardiac Kid, 79? That's it. That's Roy. Roy remembers.
All right. Thank you, Roy. Okay, Ryan, what'd you think? Was it worth the wait?
No.
I'm just glad it's done.
Yeah.
I mean, 90% of you know what? Honestly, I agree with everything in it. There's more to it. There's more to it.
There's other points.
No, but like more than
you guys are rushing me along.
Hey.
So
no, but there's two big things, and Dolly's brought up.
Get the kids in the building.
There's two big things for this market specifically, and Dolly Wells brought up one of them. First of all, win. Like honestly, well, no, I know it's obvious.
Hey.
No,
come on, that's your suggestion. Same with him.
No, but look at
entertain.
Look at the Whitecaps and the Lions and the Canucks. They've all had a very gloomy period the last 10 years. So you can't really fault people for not coming. The second one that's a problem in this market is player identity.
That's it.
What did I just say there?
Nailed it.
Turnover of a roster
that
you can't have a name that everybody can just give you at least a name on the roster.
What did I just point out there?
I don't know. There's 16 pages. Which page was it on?
Well, the national status for an American who's stayed with one team for 4 years or has been 7 years in the league.
I mean,
somebody who's put in their time, who maybe he's become a Canadian citizen, give him national status.
I like that. That's your best point.
Ron Lancaster, I know I'm going way back here. I don't care. Ron Lancaster with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, they had that rule in back in the day, and he was considered a non-import, a Canadian.
Exactly.
Because he had spent a certain amount of time in the league. That's a great rule that I don't know why they got away from.
Hey,
I guess because it took jobs away from Canadians.
You two haven't mentioned the big one. I'm very upset with you for not putting this in. They need a new football stadium outdoors, 24 to 26,000. Okay. That's it. People don't want to sit in that sauna that sauna, which is a block away from
Okay,
here,
you're-
on a summer night.
Yeah, you're right. And I think for the most part, though, this is where your little suggestion there falls flat, that the CFL's done a pretty good job everywhere but Vancouver of getting smaller, more intimate stadiums. Commonwealth, the Elks do well. McMahon needs work. I think they're going to get a new stadium.
Get a new
But
stadium.
Winnipeg, Ottawa, Hamilton, Montreal, even at McGill. I love watching games there. They've done just fine with that. Vancouver does need work, but Rick, let's be honest. They just spent $500 million
Donnie,
to improve it. They're
Donnie,
not getting a new one.
This city is building hockey rinks all over the Lower Mainland, but you can't build a football
Yeah,
stadium?
but hold on.
It would have to come
Hey, they want to build a hockey rink for 10,000 seats in Surrey. You got one in Langley, you got one in Abbotsford, you got one in UBC, but you can't build a football stadium?
We just bucked up $500 million to improve
Okay,
BC
but who's
Place.
paying for the hockey rinks all over the Lower
It
Mainland?
would have to be done privately. I agree with you, but would have to be done privately. Big Ry, the Twitter guy, is next.
No, actually, that took so long. The show is over.
It's
We'll
over.
see you
Okay.
September
That's it. We're
7th.
done.
Thank
Get
you.
out of here.
Listen. You wouldn't let me unveil my plan for so long that I kept adding to it. That's
I will
why
say
it took
this.
a long time.
I will say this. Famously, you led for years on years people to believe there was a great Banff story, and it sucked. You led people to believe the CFL plan was going to be good, and it was good.